Hi there, you are listening to the Being Unstoppable podcast, where we talk about being unstoppable in your brand, business, and life. I'm your host, Carolee Fontanelli, and as an entrepreneur, lawyer, course creator, and author, I understand what it takes to strive for the next level. Through 20 years of having several businesses, making a ton of mistakes, and celebrating loads of success, I love to share my secret sauce, tips, and strategies on how you too can become unstoppable. Well, hello and welcome to another episode of the Being Unstoppable podcast. I am your host, Carolee Fontanelli, and I'm so glad that you are here listening in wherever you're listening in from, whether it's on your walk, on your drive, from the bathroom. I listen to podcasts while I'm getting ready in the morning. Wherever you're listening in from, I hope that you are having a fabulous day and a fabulous month. So today I want to get stuck straight into it because today is a quick session and we are talking all around showing your personality and vulnerability on social media. Now, I know from experience that this is so hard to put your content out there. It can be debilitating, in fact, because you worry about so many things. You worry about who might be listening, who might be judging, who might be watching, what if I say the wrong thing? You know, all sorts of fears creep in there. Other things that you might be concerned about is, what will I post? Who cares about what I post anyway? All of those imposter syndrome feelings start creeping in, and it can actually stop you from putting your brand out there. And it's really important that you do put your brand out there if you want to be successful in your business, because if you don't put your brand out there, no one is going to get to know, like, and trust you. And if they don't know, like, and trust you, they're not going to come to you when they have a problem to solve. So it's really vital that you do overcome the fear and start to put your brand out there. I know for me how hard it really was when I first started. I would not do stories. I would not put video out there. I actually went and did a video course. I paid $5,000 to do this video course, which was amazing, to teach you how to use lighting, how to do your videos properly, how to edit them, and all of that kind of thing. Because the reality is that video is a really great way to connect with your audience. And I knew I wanted to upskill. So this was probably around 5 years ago, I would say. I went and did this course. It was so difficult for me to stand in front of the camera to create content for social media. Every time the camera turned on, I literally froze, actually froze. I would stumble up all over my words. I would have to keep pushing pause or stopping, feeling awkward in front of the camera, worrying about a whole lot of things. So I recorded all of these videos on this course. I learned so much and it was amazing. I really enjoyed it. We went away on a retreat on the Sunshine Coast. It was a really fantastic time and I came away with all these videos that were basically done professionally, right? It was amazing. We did it with a green screen so I could put in any background and all kinds of things. So it was great. The videos that I recorded sat on my computer in my Dropbox for years because I was too scared to put them out into the world because I was worrying about what people were thinking. This really tripped me out. This week I did a branding masterclass in my Scalable Business Society, and the majority of people in there were lawyers, and they all have the same fear. Exactly the same. And you look at all of these people who are amazing at what they do, and you think, why, where is the fear coming from? Why would you even worry about it? But it's a true fear that a lot of us have, and I totally relate to it because I have recorded many things and they have stayed in my Dropbox and not out in the world where I can actually impact and help people. So I wanted to talk today about why it is good to show your personality and how it can make you actually relatable so that people can know, like, and trust you. which means that it's going to be easier for you to find the right clients and attract them through social media and by putting your brand out there. So the most successful brands on social media all have one thing in common, right? They are relatable and they are memorable for whatever reason. And just because you're in the business that you're in, whether that's, you're an accountant or a lawyer or whatever you might be, it might not be something sexy like creatives, for example, whatever it is that you are, you still need to provide and put your brand out there in a relatable and memorable way. And for some types of businesses, this can feel easier than it does for other businesses. And I know for me in practicing law and family law, divorce, it's not a sexy topic to talk about. So how do you do it in a way that's human and relatable? And also for some people, depending on what it is that you do, it can be harder to come across as human and relatable. For example, as a lawyer, people often look at us and think that we are not relatable, that we speak a different language, that we charge too much, and all of that kind of thing, right? So straight away, just because you are a certain profession, you seem like you're not relatable. So how do you be relatable when it comes to your social media? And how do you target the right audience so that they can recall your brand and your service when they have that problem that you solve? So with social media, you want to place yourself at the top of mind for your ideal client. And that time might not be right now, right? I might not be going through a divorce right now, but I might go through one unexpectedly in a year's time. So how do I make sure that I am at top of mind for when that person does have the problem? Typically, winning brands on social media are personable and relatable. So that's what we want to be. So how can you bring together the creative and the professional to create this impressive social media presence for your brand? So the first one is that you don't want to be shying away from showing your personality. The difficulty is that sometimes we feel if we're funny and we show our personality that we are not then professional. But the truth is you can still be professional and share your personality. You don't have to be stale and dry to give your service. You can have a personality as well. It's totally okay to do that. And I think old school, they were stale and dry, but now we can be fun and we can show our personality. We can have bright branding. We can be funny, and we need to be those things so that we don't drown in the sea of social media posts. Most people aren't showing personality in their social media. So it's a really great opportunity to stand out from the crowd, right? Not only is the competition fierce in whatever space you're in, but social media platforms are moving so fast. There's so many, as you probably already know by now. There's a new one, Clubhouse. Whether that's going to still be around in a year or two, we don't know. But, social media platforms are out there and they move quickly. So we need to be able to move quickly as well. So trying new things like Reels on Instagram, trying stories and getting yourself used to being in front of the camera is a really great way to get out there. So I don't know if you watch me on social media, you'll know that I am doing Dancing CEO in 5 weeks' time. So what Dancing CEO is it's a fundraising campaign by Women's Legal Service Queensland to raise money for women and children who are going through domestic violence. They put together about 10 or so CEOs of companies, and they ask them to fundraise $20,000. And they also ask them to hop on stage and do a 2-minute dance in front of 1,000 black tie guests. So I am learning to dance, and I've been really enjoying myself. It's so much fun. And so on my social media, I've decided to take people on the journey with me with my dancing lessons. And the way that I've been doing that is I've been doing a funny thing like Celeste Barber, where she does those impersonations of like really super sexy people, and then she does her impersonation of it, where it's like nearly impossible for us, say, to do that yoga move. It's really fun. Anyway, I've been doing the same with my dance teacher. She'll do some amazing dance moves and then I'll try and copy her. And clearly, I'm not a dancer, I'm a lawyer. So I don't get it right. And so I've been putting these posts out there. I've done 5 or 6 now. And at first, when I first created it, I look like a real dag. And I was thinking, this is actually very out there and awkward for me. And I'm so comfortable with Instagram and being myself on Instagram. I don't have a problem with that. But I recorded it and I also challenged myself to put it on LinkedIn, which is where all of my professional people are. And this is where all my peers are. And it made me very uncomfortable. But I did it. And I've got so much good feedback. So I've been doing it every single week and everyone is waiting for this video to come every Wednesday where I act like a real dancing dag. So that's just one way of taking people on a journey. I'm still being professional, but I'm showing a human side and everyone loves it. So it doesn't all have to be serious and drab when it comes to your social media. So how do you stand out in this crazy competitive world? Simple, darling. Let your personality shine. People want to see who you are. So whether you want to be quirky or shocking or unconventional or just plain friendly, the choice is yours. But don't be boring. The quickest way to be forgotten on social media or not even noticed in the first place is to be boring. So let some of your personality shine. And if you are a professional and you're on social media for your business, show some of your personal life as well, because people love to buy from people and they love to buy from people that they can relate to. If you love cooking, pop a bit of cooking on there. If you love working out, show the view as you're running along your beachfront or whatever it might be. All of that is totally okay. People will start to get to know you more and they will also then really enjoy your value-added professional content as well. Once you've decided on the mood and the tone of your social media updates, it's time to nurture your voice. And this is just a matter of trial and error. Keep testing. The great thing about social media is you can put the post up and you can delete it if you want to. The great thing about stories is that you can record it. You can pre-record it if you want to. When you're comfortable, then you can post it. The great thing about Reels is you can do the same thing. So have a play with some of these things. And depending how many followers you've got on social media, say you've got 500 followers on social media and on your business page or your personal, whatever it might be, remember that there's only a small percentage of those people that are going to see your story or your reel or your post anyway. So you're not shining to the whole world at large, and it gives you space and opportunity to get more comfortable as you grow and as you go. And remember, as you go about your tone and what you share on social media, your vibe attracts your tribe. So if you're sort of showing up and you're serious and dry, that's what you're going to be attracting. If you're vibrant and fun and you're showing a bit of your personality, that's what you're going to attract. If you're down and sharing all your misery, that's what you're going to attract as well. Those who believe in you will spread the word on your behalf. And when people love a brand and love a brand's personality, they become brand advocates. And that is what you are after. So remember as well, when you are providing your content, provide content that speaks to your followers. When you have a voice and you're attracting people who share the same ethos as you, it's only a matter of time until they start sharing your content as well and celebrating the content that you are putting out there. So when you are putting content out there about how you help people, you want to be able to speak to them. I don't know about you, but have you ever watched a little video or a story or a post on Instagram and you've thought, that is exactly how I felt when I was in that situation, or that person is relating to me so deeply? You are not alone when you are thinking that. And the reason is that those types of brands are speaking to you. So it feels like they can read your mind because they're getting in your shoes and then they're creating content that helps you because they are in your shoes. And that is exactly what you need to do for your clients. So when it comes to the problems that you solve, what are the fears and concerns that your clients have around that? And so that's how we need to speak in our social media. What are the things that are bothering your ideal client? So those brands that do that really well, they've researched well. You may or may not have ever been in your client's shoes before. For me, I've been through divorce, so I know what it's like, and I have been in my client's shoes. I've also been through a divorce before I was a lawyer, so I know how scary it is to be a client with no legal training and know exactly what it's like to go and reach out and see a lawyer, how scary it is thinking about fees, how scary it is thinking about, oh my goodness, it might upset my ex-partner if I retain a lawyer. All of the fears and thoughts, I've been there. So it's easy for me to cultivate that voice in an authentic way. If you have not been there, do your research. Connect with your ideal client and ask them questions about how they feel about their problem, because that is the language that you want to be using in your social media content. The other thing that people do really well is they ask questions and they engage with their tribe and their people. So put questions out there on social media and engage with your people. Interact with the people that follow you. Don't leave them hanging. So the biggest thing that I want you to take from today's podcast is to authentically share yourself to your audience, because people will love you. 100% they will love you. You don't need to worry about what people think, because if anyone thinks negatively about you, or if it's a competitor that you're worried about or whatever it might be, those are not your clients. They are not your tribe. They are not your people. When you put content out there, think about how you are going to positively impact people. Don't be like me and leave great content in your Dropbox for a number of years because you're too scared to share it. Honestly, what is the worst that can happen? And you know what happened when I started sharing content? People started celebrating me. Oh my goodness, Carolee, you're doing so great sharing content. You know, I love that post. That was so great, or whatever it might be, both online and in person, when they would see me and they would remember that I've been sharing this content. The other day I was at an event and I said to someone, I was doing Dancing CEO, and the person said, oh, what is that? And I said, explained what it was. And they said, oh, I've seen a girl on LinkedIn doing these crazy dances. And I was like, oh yeah, that girl is me. It was memorable. It's making a bit of fun of myself. It's scary, but then people celebrate it and they love it. I have made so many connections through DMs on LinkedIn because of my crazy dancing. So I encourage you to get out of your comfort zone a little bit, share a little bit of yourself, and do it on the regular basis and see what happens. And remember, you're not doing it for you. You're not doing it for your competitors. You are sharing so that you can positively impact other people with the solutions that you provide in your business. Your solutions can change and transform people's lives. That's what you have been put on the earth to do. So do not hold back on sharing that with people. Get out there, start posting some stuff on social media. Tag me. I'm Carolee.Fontanelli on Instagram. Find me on LinkedIn, and I want to see what you're up to. That's all I have for you today. I hope that you have a wonderful week, and I hope that I've encouraged you to just take that next step in your social media. And if you would love to join me in the Scalable Business Lounge, I would love to have you in there. We have an amazing amount of fun in there. And what we actually do is we transform your business so that it doesn't need you anymore. We transform it so that you are scaling up and out, and you have a business that does not require you all of your time, and you can go and enjoy other things in your life as well. So if you have a business and you would love to scale it, please contact me either on email, DM me, whatever it might be, wherever you can find me. And let's talk about the Scalable Business Lounge to see if it suits you. All right, bye for now. Thank you for listening to the Being Unstoppable podcast, brought to you by my personal brand, Freebies, which you can find at caroleefontanelli.com. If you got value from this week's episode, I would love it if you would hit subscribe and take a minute to leave me a review. You can connect with me on Instagram or Facebook. Just search for Carolee Fontanelli. Until next time, remember, if you believe in yourself, you will be unstoppable.